Morning Hustle Show. L'Oreal, we got my guy Tink.
L'Oreal in the building. What up, B?
We got Tink here with us, with me, and he is definitely, I couldn't wait to sit down and talk to you again, so I had you come back.
Yeah.
For a second time, right? Because we had to dive deeper. We only had a little bit of time before. And every time I talk to you, I feel like it circulates a lot.
Yeah.
And this one didn't circulate like it was supposed to circulate, so we're going to have to do it again.
Yeah, we have to create the circulation.
Have to do it again,
create
right?
the circulation.
Exactly.
Come on now. Y'all know we're talking about real blood flow around here.
Come on now.
Circulation. Holla at me.
R&B money.
Yeah,
it's
money.
out right now. It's
out
crazy.
right now.
Y'all heard it by now.
Yeah.
And so let's just jump straight into it. Is R&B dead or are niggas just ugly?
You know what? I can't confirm dude's level of handsome. I can't confirm it. You know what I'm saying? I can't deny, what my brother Chris Brown is saying. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows. He's a guy.
That's right.
But what I do know is that it's a great conversation and a great starting point. I love that Puff started it right there, or Brother Love, as we like to call him. I love that Brother Love started the conversation right there, because now it's a fiery conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now we in the trenches having this conversation. And what I know about R&B music is that the creatives aren't dead. Mm-hmm. The platforms that play it and distribute it, that's where the death comes into play.
Are you taking shots?
No, I'm talking directly to people. I'm talking directly to the mainstream radio. Okay. I'm talking directly to the higher of a level streaming platform. I'm talking directly to all the award shows and all these people who don't show our category during the main telecast. I'm talking to everybody, all of them. True. I'm talking directly to them. Mm-hmm. It's that devaluing of our style of music that has created the notion that our music is dead. Now, to the person searching for R&B music and digging into the crates and finding the music they're looking for Anthony Hamilton, looking for Fantasia, looking for myself, and finding it, right. They're enjoying R&B.
That's right.
Because we're putting it out. You know what I'm saying? They're enjoying Brent Faiyaz. They're enjoying Giveon. They're enjoying these guys that are actually doing the R&B. Mm-hmm. But where's the mainstream support? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? When we used to own those, 1 through 5 slots on the Hot 100, when Boyz II Men was doing it, when Jodeci was doing it, when Babyface was doing it, when Brian McKnight were doing it, R. Kelly was doing it. Where are we now?
Right.
Why are we non-existent? Why we can't crack the top 40? Because you want to sell drugs, you want to sell guns, you want to sell murder, you want to sell prostitution. That's what you'd rather sell than sell our love. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, is it dead? Possibly, from a consumer standpoint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From a bottom line standpoint. Because people aren't investing in that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They aren't getting the big budgets to do R&B. They aren't getting the big award show performances to do R&B. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So we have to fight for that space. We're having great moments with jazz. We're having great moments with SZA. Great moments with her. Great moment. Love it. But their music is not in competition with anything.
Yeah.
Our music is in competition with these emotional rappers who are doing melody about their homies getting killed and their baby mamas, working over them.
Yeah. So like the toxic side of things.
We're in competition with that.
Right.
People would rather hear those rappers singing bad than hear us singing good.
That's facts.
I'm not gonna lie. Come on, radio.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, blogs.
That is true.
Come on, guys. Mm-hmm. Where's the balance? Mm-hmm. Why can't my love and my relationship advice and my sensuality or sexuality, for that matter, be just as mainstream? What threatens you about that?
So do you feel like that's what it is? It's like pushing more so of the toxic agenda in music and pushing away from the black love or the love upside of things?
We see that prevalent in all phases of entertainment. Mm-hmm. Where do you see black love at the forefront of movie making, of TV making? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you see it? Mm-hmm. You don't. We have to fight. We got to fight with all we have to make a piece of great content.
But do you feel like it's more of the people that's looking out for this music's fault as well? Because we would control the streams and things like that. So if Puff is saying something like this, do you get offended? Because songs back in the day was if you think you lonely now, wait until tonight. That's kind of toxic.
I'm not even speaking as it pertains to toxicity. I'm saying that we have to fight melody for melody. So the fact that all of the nuances in their melody, contain, different things that are conducive to, I guess, the mainstream agenda. That's why their melody is working.
Right.
So in order for our melody to work, we got to sneak in and do some of theirs in order for us to kind of disguise our thing and just to be able to be seen and be heard.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just don't. I would also dive into the consumer, right? Because when I say the bottom line, like record companies and radio stations, they promote what people buy. They promote what people cry out for. They promote what people show up for. Their agenda is money.
Right.
Right? I mean, we could dive into a deeper, conversation of black and what, we could do that. But let's just talk simple facts. Let's talk bottom line. Companies want to make money.
Yeah.
Whatever's making them money, that is what they are going to push. So I ask the consumer, as you tweet about R&B not being dead, or as you like the posts about R&B being not being dead, where's your support for it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
What about like a Rod Wave? Like, what would you consider Rod Wave? Because is that R&B?
He's not an R&B singer. In some instances, he may be an R&B artist. Even with Drake, he's not an R&B singer. In some instances, he may be an R&B artist, but that's where people aren't able to make the distinction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He goes #1 with his album, right?
Right.
And they consider him an R&B artist. So now, is that why?
That's the
problem.
the problem. So you have a chart that says R&B and hip hop. What?
It's not even nowhere near.
It's nowhere near the same. Together. We don't even do the same thing. You have a category, best new artist, just all the black people in one category.
It should just be called black people
just
category.
black people category. Who's the best black person? Male or female?
Oh, you're crazy.
Right? So there's no distinct separation so that we can truly shine, you know what I'm saying, on our own.
Yeah.
Separate that R&B and hip hop chart. We don't need to be, I don't do the same thing as Meek Mill or Jay-Z or Young Thug. We don't do the same thing.
Yeah.
So why am I competing against them? Why are they competing against me? Give us our own space.
Yeah.
And so as opposed to asking for it, we're just going to create it. And that's what the second half of my career is dedicated to, creating the platforms to where, like, listen, the platforms you own, conduct them however you see fit.
Yeah.
We're not asking for a seat at your table. We'll make our own table and chairs.
Which is dope.
We'll do it.
I love that. And like you said, so this is going to be this is your final complete
10th and final
album.
Complete album.
10th
Yes.
and final, 20 years in the game. And you're going to transition into helping newer artists.
Yes.
And putting newer artists on. One thing I know about us, right? We tend to build things up. And then what do? We sell it off, right? Kind of like Versus. And now it's a situation where they're not getting their money, but the company is sold off and we're not getting that platform to put our artists out there. So when you get to the point where you're pushing enough artists, do you sell this? And does it make more sense to sell it? Or is this something that you're trying to work on for the rest of your days?
Well, not necessarily the rest of my days, but build it to where, it's legacy involved, right? So what you see with a lot of these companies that we like to call them old money companies, you know what I'm saying, that started probably way back in slavery times, is that it was passed down from generation to generation to generation. They have the pictures of, the family members who first started this business and who took over after that and who took over after that. We don't have that. Yeah. We're used to selling things because we're used to being sold, right? That's how we're conditioned. So for us, there's always been a dollar amount that made sense. You know what I'm saying? That's how we were brought here. And so we replicate that behavior as opposed to owning it and passing it down.
So if you're Swiss or Timberland, would you have sold Versus?
I don't want to speak intimately about the details of their business because I really don't know. Yeah. I know there was $100 million involved. And, I know that, $100 million is
$100 million.
It's something you got to talk about. It's something you got to consider.
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Even though they got like $3 so far.
No, they got more than that. Now, there's so many questions that go into that. Like, were they projected, to make $100 million at some point, or did they have an evaluation of maybe, $50 million, and they said, listen, we'll bet on it. We'll bet that it's going to be bigger than that. We'll give you $100 million. And you're like, oh, wow, okay, so we have a business that is evaluated at $40-50 million, and you're going to give us 100?
Yeah. You
That's
might
the
have.
conversation.
Yeah.
You might have to take that money and then go start another business to pass down to you. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know the intimate details of their situation to speak to that. But I know what I'm trying to do is build something that I can pass down to my sons, and they can pass down to their sons, daughters as well.
Yeah.
And continuing the legacy, so they can always sit at the forefront of this and be honored because their father built this.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about verses last time I spoke with you, and specifically with you coming out for Omarion and Mario trying to do his back and forth, or his fourth. Right?
Yeah, I don't know what you call it.
His fourth.
Yeah.
So, okay, I heard a little rumor, and you could tell me if it's true or not. So, I was told that Omarion was actually, you wasn't planned to come out during verses. Is that true?
No, I was playing.
Okay, so I was told that Omarion scrambled a little bit when Mario started to kind of like wash him on stage, and he knew that Mario is currently dating your ex-girlfriend. So that's why he brung you out to bring the pressure. Is that true?
No.
Did you date his current girlfriend is your ex-girlfriend?
I don't even know who he's dating.
Oh. They said she was there too.
I
No?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. So I whoever that is, I mean, God bless you.
So that's a rumor.
Yeah. I was called by Omarion maybe a month. Like one day, once they did the Versus deal, he hit me and was like, "Big bro, we gonna do." I came out with Omarion on the what was it? Was it Scream? Not Scream tour. The Millennium Tour. I came out with Omarion on the Millennium Tour in L.A. at the what's in Inglewood Forum, at the Forum. So we had already we was already doing that, and he was like, "This big bro, it'd be crazy if we did the same thing we did on such and such for the Versus." I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." He came by the house, we talked about it. Now what's crazy is that he asked me first.
Okay, but
because
Mario asked to?
No. I've never done a song with Mario.
Okay, right.
So I could have came out with Pleasure P.
True.
I could have came out with Sammy. I could have came out with anybody because I've done music for all of those guys.
Right.
But Omarion asked me first. That's the only reason why I came out with him. All of those guys are my bros.
Pre-planned.
Okay. Now, the Watermelon, I don't know. I wasn't.
Yeah, the Watermelon I heard was also your idea.
I wasn't there.
Was it or was it not?
I want to know who was in charge of the Watermelon. Like, because when I went into his dressing room, there was no watermelon there. So apparently, the watermelon was in the Uber Eats, and it was on the way, and it was late. And somebody was like, "Where's the watermelon?" It's almost like, I don't know where the watermelon is. The dude from Uber Eats is trying to get in. He can't get in. They won't let him in. Security won't let him in. And then when they finally let him in, he got the watermelon. He's like, "Bro, this watermelon has seeds in it. Why does it have seeds? I think I have to do. It can't have seeds in it. You know what? It just is what it is. I'm gonna eat the watermelon." So my question is, what happened to the seeds? Because I didn't see nobody spit I ain't seen nobody spit those seeds out.
Be honest. If he told you about the watermelon ahead
playing.
of time, would you say yes?
No. If he'd have told me about the watermelon before time, I would have politely left.
Decline.
I would have, listen, brother, I love you. You doing what you're doing. But my brother, you are eating what? I was
you be eating watermelon, Tink. Stop.
I do not.
Why are you so crazy?
I do. So I'm backstage and I'm on the side of the stage because I already planned to leave. They're like 3 hours behind.
Okay.
I was like, I got kids at the house. I don't, I got stuff to do. And I'm waiting back there. They're like, "No, just give it a second. We're gonna get to the song." I was like, "All right, now let me know." And in the middle of all of that, I'm standing there, and out comes the watermelon. And the watermelon comes out, and I'm like, "What's going on here?"
Yes.
And I look at my guy Lonnie, and they start eating the watermelon, and I'm like, "See, this is why I was gonna go home. This is why I should have went home when I was gonna go home."
I'm done with you.
I don't know what's going on now. Okay. I don't know where we are now. I don't know where we are.
Well, from that night, a group did form, RSVP. Right?
Amazing night of Versus.
Amazing night. Are you involved
the number
in
said
that?
so.
Are you involved in that? RSVP. Are you writing any songs for Ray?
I talked to Ray and I talked to Pleasure P about doing some music for him.
Yeah.
I offered my expertise. If you guys need me, let me know. I'm here for you. I've been through this.
Of course, with
TGT. I know TGT. I know how to navigate this.
Yeah.
I know how to manage the personalities. I know how to take the pressure off of you guys' relationship with each other,
right?
And absorb that for you.
Which is probably the hardest part. With
the hardest part. It's the hardest part.
Like that, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like let the decisions and the hard thing, and the tough, the tough part of this, let it run through me. You know what I'm saying? You guys can holler at me, yell at me, whatever you want to do. I just don't want you hollering and yelling at each other because you guys should be a group.
Well, thanks to Tyrese, we'll never get a TGT album
It's not
again.
all Tyrese's fault.
Oh, well, that's not what everyone thinks.
It's not. It's not all Tyrese's fault. It's not. I think that the first album process was such a grueling process to where you have guys, you have a guy like Ginuwine who doesn't need it. He's rich. He gets to go out on the weekends, do his shows, do his bad dance moves.
I see. So that's my next question, though. What would you rate Ginuwine's recent dance moves on a scale of 1 to 10?
Listen, the Ginuwine I know,
the Ginuwine you know compared to Ginuwine
from '97 to the Ginuwine now,
the ticking one now.
He has to relax. Okay. The scale from 1 to 10, we are like a -2. He has to relax and get back to the original pony that I know he can be.
What happened?
It's
like we're having a muscle memory.
He just
it's not hitting.
I don't listen. It's not even that. G is not even making an attempt.
We can't even call him G no more.
He
whine.
Yeah, out of respect, you just call him wine.
Wine.
Red wine.
I'm done with you right now.
He's not even making an attempt. I know my brother.
Yeah.
I know when he's going full out and when he's trying. He's not even making an attempt right now. He's just enjoying everybody singing the songs word for word. He's enjoying getting his flowers and his accolades. He's just having a good time. And TGT was traumatic. And TGT, for some people, represents stress. I have people at the label that's like, please don't do that again.
Yeah.
Please. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
Some people shaking their head in this room. I got big eyes. So I see it all.
And I'm like, I get it, but it would be different this time around. The business is already done. It would just be a matter of just making the music, which would be easy. I think we all understand what we're great at now. You know what I'm saying? As
not dancing over there, Ginuwine.
I'll handle the dancing from now on. I think my moves have caught up to Ginuwine.
I think you're good.
I think I'm nice now.
I think you Gucci.
And I think it would be different. I think the culture would appreciate it a whole lot differently now.
So would y'all do a tour if it ever came to
I would do it.
Yeah,
if Ginuwine was ever like, you know what, little bro, let's do it.
So just y'all two?
No, with Tyrese.
Okay.
Like I got it to a point to where first it was me and G trying to get Tyrese to do it, and then that fell apart, and then it was me and Tyrese trying to get G to do it.
That's crazy.
And then
now he's out here performing everywhere.
He's like, I'm done.
Can't sit him down.
So it's hard to get rich people to conform.
I know I'm surprised that Tyrese is a Capricorn like you and I, because it just seems like different traits. Like, so do you have a sign that you look at that you're like, you're a such and such? I definitely can't.
He's a typical Capricorn.
Is he?
I am not.
Maybe I'm not then either.
Maybe you're not. Yeah. Like I've made adjustments based on a lot of my life experiences. But a lot of Capricorn men that I know, especially industry Capricorn men, they act like him. Like me, Lulu. I don't even know why you did that.
No, I'm just saying Capricorn.
Don't you dare bring the king into this, okay? Don't you dare do that, okay? The king is off limits, okay? Me, Lulu, Shot. We're all Capricorns, and we're very mild mannered. Funny, like to have fun, but hard workers. You know what I'm saying? Same. And we don't dabble in the foolishness. We just don't.
So what's the sign that's like you hear it and you're like, nah, I don't mess with those? Typically, friendships or like obviously not relationships because you're married.
Probably Libra. I'm more traumatized by Libras.
Is your wife?
My wife's a Libra. Yeah, I'm traumatized by her. I'm traumatized, yeah. And my sister's a Libra.
Oh,
absolutely.
Really?
My sister built up so much truth credit to when she started lying, my parents believed everything she was saying, and I was like, are y'all really gonna let her get away with that? She was so divisive.
That's hilarious. Okay, R&B Money,
yes.
R&B Money, the podcast as well. Why R&B Money?
To make it obvious, to make it clear, R&B generates money. I'm living proof of it. I'm that. I'm living proof of it. If you would like to have a career in R&B and make money, come to R&B Money.
Right. So you're gonna help these artists.
Got to.
That are coming up that we may not be familiar with. Who are we sleeping on right now that you would say needs to have their flowers? Or that you want to shine a light on?
You sleeping on Kevin Ross.
That's a fact.
Sleeping on Kevin Ross. Sleeping on Luke James. Like, listen, I get it. You want him to perform at your award performances and do covers. No. He needs original songs to go number one. Luke James is a generational talent. Sleeping on Luke James. Who else can I throw in there? What's my other guy from the same show, from The Chi, from Milwaukee? My guy.
Oh my God.
Jacob Lattimore.
Jacob Lattimore is my homeboy, and I don't know why I just had a brain fart. Sorry, Jacob.
I too. So I had the same brain fart.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Sleeping on Jacob Lattimore.
Yeah, he's fire.
Fire.
I think it's the acting thing that people like try to just breeze
past. It just doesn't.
But he was a singer
He's
first.
a monster, performer, dancer. He can do it
fire.
all. He can do it all.
Yeah.
Sleeping on Ro James. Sleeping on Rotimi, although Rotimi is now catching a wave, a really dope wave that I'm so proud of him for. Sleeping on LaToya Luckett.
Yeah, because you ain't say no females, so just now I'm glad you said one.
Come on now. You know, I got females in the Rolodex. Don't play with me.
Bring it in there.
Even though she's not out, they sleeping on Larea Turner. They watched her do covers and she's gone viral with a few things, but she's coming. Who else? I mean, I could go on, but you know, it's a bunch of people that I just think that sleeping on Sammy, who's a monster vocalist. You know what I'm saying? Who's a record away from doing something really special.
And what about like Jay Valentine? Because I know that he's also your co-host on R&B Money, and you got a record on your album that
on Slow that's going fire.
That's
your
your single, one of your singles. And so what's the relationship?
It wasn't him being slept on. It was him sleeping on himself.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
And so we have been fighting with him for years to get back in as an artist. Like he was a child star of the Neutrons. You know, they used to open up for all the MCA artists. You know what I'm saying? You know, he hang out with Michael Jackson and all that. He's been doing it since then. And then he did his deal with J Records and had the Go Dumb remix that was going crazy in the Bay and all of that, and then he did the Up remix, you know what I'm saying, with Chris Brown and Pleasure Free. He orchestrated all that. That's all him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So from writing with NSYNC and all of that stuff, like he's been doing it, and he just walked away from it to be part of the business side of it, which helped us in the long run because we were production partners and we both knew the business. We were able to work well in that space, and then he decided to go in management, and then he eventually started managing me, and then our that relationship just kind of grew. But for years I'm telling him, I was like, bro, 2 is better than 1. If you're active as an artist and you're going crazy, because every time we go somewhere, people are like, are you Jay Valentine?
Right.
He'd be like, yeah. Like, man, I love your just man that one song and these, and I'm like, you don't see that?
Yeah.
Right there waiting for you. You still look 22. Like, what are you doing? Like, let's, and we finally convinced them, pressured them, maybe a little bullying, to
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? to get back into it, man, and just do what you're meant to do.
Right.
You don't have this gift for nothing. And so now he's back in the fold, and you know what I'm saying? We're transitioning and shit. I'm moving out and he's moving in. And now as an artist we're pushing him, but our R&B Money podcast, like our chemistry is so great the way it is because of course we've been doing it together for so long, but we've been doing this for so long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We understand it. So if it's a guest that I haven't worked with, it's a guest that he's worked with. You know what I'm saying? And so we're able to have these really dope, intimate conversations that you wouldn't have normally with somebody who doesn't know a person.
Because you really, really know
we really know you. You know what I'm saying? So we really know the people coming on to our platform, and we really know each other.
Right. So I would assume he was in the studio with you for majority of you, like, recording your album,
Absolutely.
or at least around, right? And
from Now or Never all the way to now.
Right.
No, see, some Sex, Love, and Pain all the way till now.
Wow.
That's how long it's been.
And we know, like, you're dealing with your hearing issues. Was the recording process different for you this time around, now that you did lose hearing on half
on my right side? At first.
Right side, okay.
At first it was.
Yeah.
So it took a minute to be confident in what I was hearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because normally you have the one ear on and you have the one ear off, so you can hear what you're really doing versus what's coming through there. And I no longer had, the real time audio. I had to rely on what was coming through the computer. So It was an adjustment. It took a while. I Deserve was the first song I recorded, being deaf in my right ear.
Right.
And every other take, I was like, how's that? Is that good? You sure? Play it again. Like, play it one more time. Let me hear it.
And were they hearing the difference? Or?
My guy, Trav, shout out to Trav, T-Verse, who's actually on the album, helped me write most of the album, pretty much.
Wow.
He was like, bro, you're good. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. You're good. He's like, because he's not like, he's like my brother, but he's also like a fan. He used to sing all my songs in high school, all my unreleased music.
Yeah.
He showed me songs that I had forgot about. So he's like, bro, I'm not going to let you sound crazy. You're Tank. I got you.
Yeah.
And so, him being in there with me and just, me having confidence in him. Like, okay, all right, don't let me go all crazy. That's where it started to, where I started to get back comfortable.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a final question. We know everything was going crazy on the internet with the whole gospel singers versus Beyonce, I feel like,
come on.
with the church girl situation, and you obviously jumped in and defended.
Absolutely.
So do you think like this is a little bit hypocritical with that? Because they'll definitely dive into music from the secular side, but they don't want anybody sampling the gospel.
Is it a little hypocritical?
I mean, I was just trying to be devil's advocate.
Is it a lot of it hypocritical?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been tapping in the R&B and hip hop for decades.
Yeah.
For decades.
But do you think it's disrespectful? Like it's a little racier of a record, and then you got the gospel record on there. Is there anything disrespectful about that, or
you know anything about church girls?
They be dropping it like a thotty, dropping like a thotty.
Okay, I'm just telling you firsthand. I'm just telling you firsthand.
There's 2 nuns pregnant right now.
Well, I'm just trying. You understand what's going on, right? You understand if we're gonna tell the truth around here.
I'm just saying.
Okay, then there it is.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like this. The church is not comprised of perfect people. It's not. And so once you clear that path, then we can relate to each other again. Mm-hmm. I said none of us are perfect. All of us are sinners. Mm-hmm. All of us are, depending on what you believe in, saved by grace.
Yeah.
All of us are living under mercy.
Majority of the black folk love God.
I mean, listen.
So why we can't love God together?
And so why can't she sing about her experience as a church girl? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Why can't she sing about whatever she wants to sing about? Because quite honestly, she has a husband. Mm-hmm. So anything, so anything that she doing on that record, her husband is the beneficiary of said activities.
That's a fact.
Rightfully so.
Yes.
So she can sing and document all that else she want to.
Yeah.
Why is your sermon about Beyonce? How
that's secular.
How is that? How does that draw people to the cross? Mm-hmm. How does telling people that she made a deal with the devil? How is that relevant? How?
It's not.
How is denying what some of these church girls are helping them?
Probably because she be dropping it like a thotty.
Let's look around your church, Pastor.
I'll just say amen. Not 5 people.
How about this? Check your outfits in your church, Pastor. Huh? Tap your neighbor and say that skirt is 3 inches above the knee. Tap your neighbor. Tap your neighbor and say, neighbor, I can almost see that.
Oh my gosh.
As you walk around to give this offering, I can almost see that. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. The Bible says, "Come as you are," but amen. I didn't know you was gonna come like that.
Oh,
My.
whoa. All right, who plays Tink in the Tink movie?
Wow. Who? Right now? Mm-hmm. Nobody that you know.
Okay.
There's a producer that we have by the name of Sean Holmes that reminds me so much of myself.
Really?
Good, cool kid, church kid, plays piano, sings, writes, produces everything. Fire. Completely not tainted by the business or any of that. He's me before the calm before the storm.
Yeah. Before
I really got into it and turned into this whole other R&B thing, he's that.
I love that.
And I'm looking at him, I'm like, that is me. That's me. And I can see it. He doesn't really, he's like, are you serious? Like, bro, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I mean, the same way we talk about him is the same way people used to talk about me when I first got into business. Yeah. I said, bro, you're the guy.
That's dope.
And he doesn't even know it. I didn't know it.
That's how it be.
I thought I was good, but I didn't know it was that.
Yeah.
I was like, you're it. Watch.
Okay, final question. I
No,
promise.
keep going. I'm good.
Okay.
I got time.
Tank and Tink. Did y'all plan to drop these albums?
Did not. Shout out to
because y'all heard Puff say R&B was dead, so y'all said let's join forces.
Shout out to my guy Mickey Halstead, that's family. Shout out to Tink. A Tank and Tink album drop on the same day.
That's crazy.
Was fire.
That's crazy.
I respect it. I love it. I bought her album.
Fire.
Just to make sure that I was in full support.
Yes.
And a Tank and Tink tour might be crazy.
I'm saying
next year. I'm just saying, since we in it together, we already in it. You know what I'm saying? We might as well finish it off. Tank and Tink.
I like it. R&B ain't dead.
R&B ain't dead.
The R&B ain't dead.
The R&B ain't dead tour.
All right, well, so since I came up with the name, I just need like a couple tickets in each city, and
I got you. You'll be on the rider. You'll have a dressing room.
Oh, look at that!
I know you
like mezcal. So
you like mezcal. You will host a tour. You know what I'm saying? We'll have
go. Green
that could
gummy
be dope.
bears. I like that.
That'd be dope.
I'm ready. Let's
that could be
do
dope.
it. I'm so serious.
I'm serious.
Yeah, me too.
Tank and Tink.
And L'Oreal. All right, we're going to get out of here, y'all. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Tank. And make sure y'all go get his project.
R&B Money. Album out now.
Yes.
You asked for it. I gave it to you. Do your part.
Do it.
Do your part.
And listen to the podcast.
It's going
to be around for a while. He's not going to be like them other podcasts that go away. I know you.
We signed on for 150. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. We got a lot of work to do.
I know that's right. Oh, thank you so much. Morning Hustle.
We are the Morning Hustle.